So, Colleen actually is a librarian, so apologies for getting your job title incorrect. Please blame the jet lag. I'm very sorry.
All right, good afternoon. So I work for the National Academy of Sciences, and we have a publishing arm, National Academies Press. So we're not like on the academic side having to fight to get published, because we publish our own stuff. So that works nicely for us. So a likely collaboration happened between the library, which serves the entire institution, and our press, in that we have created a suite of services to that sort of monitor impact of our products. And NAP, National Academies Press, has they are the masters of our data, so they hold all that data. I don't get to control all of that. And also they had money to pay for the tool that I wanted. So I believe NAP was one of the first book publishers to incorporate the altmetric into their website. You can go to nap.edu and look at the reports, and you can see how they've incorporated it into the website. The way that, as a librarian counseling the staff at the academies, the way that I'm approaching metrics is as breadcrumbs. So I'm not necessarily looking at it so much from a, is it good, is it bad? It's just I'm collecting as much as I can to then help inform the staff what happened with their products that they have published. So there we go. So we came up with a couple different things. We use a LibGuide tool, and we wanted to try and go around the whole circle of available metrics. So we're looking at peer review metrics using Web of Science and Scopus. We're looking at impact in legislation and press, and so we're using LexisNexis for that. And then we have a great institutional metric tool that gives me all of my usage metrics. How many downloads. They can leave comments on why they're going to use our reports, so we get a nice qualitative aspect. We get geographic metrics. And then what led us to partnering up with the altmetric was sort of closing my circle. So now I've got a window into the online attention. I'm not really promoting the number in the donut. It's it's just going to keep going up. So for staff, that's a way to see, in the first week that we put out our report, we were at 300 or whatever, and then a month later, we jumped this much. What did we do to get more attention? What in our marketing strategies did we do? So now we've got this nice complete circle of data to provide to them. Turns out they still don't have time to do anything with that data. So I think this is the plight of the librarian. So we try and educate them to try and use all this, and they still don't have time to use all of it. And actually, we're the ones that are ingesting all of it. So who better than to aggregate all of that and kind of give them analysis? And so then we came up with an impact analysis that we provide them. And the idea with the impact analysis is to then, again, it's breadcrumbs. Can they identify other funders? Can they identify other collaborators? Sort of working towards the whole business development aspect of what we do. We don't have a formal evaluation at our institution, which just blew me away. I've been there about 3 years, and I thought we did, and so I was working on that assumption, and turns out we don't. So now that I have this, I'm kind of working backwards a little bit now and trying to get my foot in the door with all of the different projects, and so we're very siloed, and so the library is floating over here, and we've got all this great stuff, but now I'm trying to get in there and start talking to projects at the outset, and let's what are your questions? What do you want to know about this report after it's been disseminated? And so it's been an interesting process from the librarian standpoint. And then after we just started using altmetrics, we needed that educational part, and so we created a class. I don't know where I found this. I certainly didn't make it up, but I love that motivational metrics because, again, it doesn't indicate good, it doesn't indicate bad, it doesn't indicate ranking. It's just what can I do with this data? I can tell any story I want with it, and so that's how I've kind of been spinning it for our staff. I know this is really teeny tiny, but this is just a little screenshot of, I just used the LibGuide tool. And so we try and curate everything in one place for them, and so it's like a one-stop shopping. We're using permalinks and things so that we can put our expert stamp on creating the search strings and that kind of instead of having the staff have to rerun it all the time. And so this has been real popular. I think we're curating over 300 reports now for staff, and now it's sort of an archive now that we have it. I still think the librarians are still using it the most, but keep trying to get that product out there. And then what I mentioned from that, I know this is really boring. I haven't had a whole lot of time to jazz it up, but so one only has so much time for all this. So now I'm sort of extracting all of that data out of all of my sources and trying to put it in a real simple format for the staff to take. Can they use this in promotional materials and things like that? And usually ends up being 3 pages, but we highlight the peer review. I like some of the tools in Scopus and Web of Science because we can pull out, potential, we can pull out affiliations, so potential funders, which sources are citing our reports the most time, that kind of thing. We just started putting the altmetric donut down there at the bottom. The tough part is context for all of this, and I know that a couple of you had mentioned this, and so that's sort of what I'm grappling with now. I'm trying to pull more out of altmetric and contextualize this for the staff because they really just don't have the time to do it. So it's a little journey, a learning process as I go along. So examples of how staff have used this. So we'll pull together, say, 10, 15 titles, and we'll package all that, and staff are putting this into their booklets for their committee meetings. They're using it to spark conversation on impact. This is the mission of this committee. Are we meeting that mission? Where did we veer off? Are we right on target? We are, again, using it for business development. I put together 17 of these beauties, and someone was able to use it in a phone call with their sponsor. Here's what's happening with everything that you sponsored, and isn't this great, essentially? Little self-promotion there. And then marketing materials on websites. They can extract some of this. We have some staff that are making these really jazzy, handouts that they have a whole other perspective on these projects that I don't, because I'm not really involved in the writing of it. And so they're able to, again, contextualize it a little bit more. And so that's pretty much what we've done with it so far. Next steps, I think it's just more training for the people that I'm trying to help, but also more training for myself. I'm constantly following the standardization with NISO, and we're looking at the quality of our metadata, because that also dictates how well I can track, using these tools. And And then embedding the library in the communication planning part of the projects. I got my first one today, yay! I actually had someone that has a current project with no title yet, which was very exciting. And so, you know, I'm going to be able to work with them from the beginning, and then hopefully I'll have a little more context when I'm trying to collect all this data for them and see where we go from there. And just improving our analysis techniques. I've only been in this part of the library world for about 3 years, so I'm looking at, you know, data visualization tools now. How else can I enhance that? I just got introduced to Sci2 and Gephi and R, and my head was like, blah. So that is, I'm gonna put that on the back burner for now. But again, just, you know, how can I give more analysis to my staff using all the tools that are available? And so that, from a librarian standpoint, is what I'm working on. Boom, that was it. I did that really fast.
Fine.
All right.
Any hands up? Any burning questions? Surely there must be somebody with a question. Yes, we have one here.
I'm curious, when you have been introducing altmetrics to your authors and telling them about some of the tools that are available and other ways they can think about their articles, what's their response usually? Do they say, yay, this is great, or I think this is really useful, or is it more like, that's nice?
Yeah, it's a lot of blank stares right now, and we don't really have individual authors, you know. So we have more of a, you know, National Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Engineering. So it's more a body, and so I am trying to make some connections for them. I'm just not sure what they're going to do with that yet. You know, when I met with someone today, I was showing him altmetric, and I said, okay, so you can look at this, and someone tweeted about your report. Well, how many followers do they have? We're just looking at reach. You know, that means that the scientific community is talking about this. You know, what they do with that data, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how to counsel them on that yet. I think the altmetric portion hasn't been around long enough for us to really see, you know, what comes next. And so right now it's just talking, you know, talking with colleagues, talking about it. Yes?
So how time intensive is this process?
Real time intensive.
So from the aspect of being scalable for an institution that has thousands of authors, we want to promote our research. It's not necessarily scalable to automate some of the process.
Well, I mean that's the great part about all the tools, you know, because you know, the altmetric and then its Scopus and Web of Science. It's pretty quick to generate all that. Pulling it all together is what takes time. For my institution in particular, you know, rather than me spending more time, you know, doing librarian stuff like cataloging and that sort of thing, my time is really better spent providing this service for them. So we're sort of reallocating our time to do what's really needed, and then, you know, pushing that business development for the institution with it. All right.
All right. Thanks very much. Thanks again, Jill. Okay.